Prime Minister Volodymyr Groysman, the head of the government special task force on investigation of the MH17 tragedy at Ukraine Crisis Media Center for a daily update.
Good afternoon, esteemed colleagues. As it has been announced, I would like to again inform you about the course of investigation of the crash of the aircraft. The investigation is being done by the International Commission. Today, 101 experts managed to get to the crash site, and starting from 11:25, they are working there, investigating the territory where the remnants, debris of the aircraft are. These are 20 vehicles, 101 experts, 10 from OSCE, 52 from the Netherlands, 38 from Australia. Also, the representatives of mass media, about 70 vehicles, and I believe from your colleagues you will get more detailed information. I would like to mention that despite certain provocations, the mission is working, the Commission is doing what they have to, and everything that needs to be done will be done in the shortest possible time to provide answers to the question, where are the bodies of the people who perished, also, and to find out what were the reasons of what happened in the sky, and also the issue of returning the belongings of the passengers after the expert analysis to return them home. Also, I would like to mention that according to our information, the National Bureau on the Investigation of Aviation Events preliminarily approved the report, which will be made public in the nearest future. And this report, preliminary report, will be sent to the Netherlands, to the Investigation Bureau for the following work. This is briefly everything. I believe that we will learn more tomorrow. Today there will be another working meeting, organizational working meeting. We are working in permanent contact with our international partners. There's this war room where all the partners participate. Malaysian side joined us. This is under the special control of the President of Ukraine. Every 2 hours, the President and the Prime Minister of Ukraine receive updates. Today we have started the working process despite all these provocations which take place during the movement of experts. Thank you, and I'm ready to answer questions. So please, your questions.
Dutch television. I have a question to Mr. Groysman. Can you confirm today that the experts at the crash sites have also used drone vehicles and divers and sniffer dogs?
I believe that everything concerning the work of the Commission on Investigation will be made public by the Commission itself, including all these technical means which are used for investigation. Channel 5, could you please say, starting from 11:25, they have been working, are they still working there, and how long will the investigation continue? Do you know how many square kilometers have been examined? There's no information like that, but the time of the work of Commission was expanded till 4 o'clock. Then after that, the Commission will leave the territory, and they will have more time for the investigation and the research itself. Belarus, to the topic of yesterday's negotiations of a contact group in Minsk. Maybe there's more information about the work of this group. How will this group continue working, and how do you assess the negotiations going on in Minsk? Everything that I informed you about, talking about investigation of the aircraft crash, I informed you about that, including the information about the contact group. I have no more new details about that. As to the work of the contact group, you will get additional information from the presidential administration.
Japanese newspaper Asahi Shimbun, and yesterday's statement of the contact group said that the release of hostage is an important element for securing the ceasefire. Could you please tell if the government is going to talk about the ceasefire next talks in the contact groups, and what is the precondition for the government to start the negotiation on the ceasefire? Thank you.
Дякую за ваш.
Thank you for your questions. All the directives for the work of the contact group are given by the President of Ukraine, and according to these directives, to these instructions, the work is going on with the contact group. And again, back to what I have said, all the actions, including the issues related to the work of the contact group, will be informed to you by the presidential administration. What is discussed, what are the plans, what decisions are made, and so on.
Television concerning the train in Torres with personal belongings. Is there some kind of agreement with the other party? And if there is an agreement, when will this train arrive in Kharkov or Kiev?
Я хочу зауважити.
I would like to mention that this train, unfortunately, has been there for several days already, from the very beginning, basically, of investigation of that awful tragedy. But unfortunately, we have not received it. The contact group, which yesterday completed its work, achieved the agreement that during 2 days this train and these cars will be returned. So we are just waiting that this agreement will be executed. Also, the question about police mission, when will it start operating there, and how many will there be? According to the ratified agreement signed by the president, the number could be maximum up to 700 persons. As to introducing police mission and other technical details, the decisions will be made, if needed, by the Commission. Today, this decision hasn't been made yet, and all the experts operating on the territory, they are operating there without any weapons.
You mentioned there were some provocations this morning. Maybe you could just give a little bit more detail on that, and also how close this morning, overnight, and today has the active fighting been to the site of the crash? Thanks.
На цій території
On this territory, there are no military actions, no fighting conducted by Ukrainian army. There was the provocation related to the delay of the movement of the vehicles. They were saying that there was sort of the fire on the territory on the way where the convoy was to be moving. As we have learned it, the fire was provoked by the militants, by the terrorists.
Television. Я хотел бы повторить.
I would like to repeat the question of my colleague. How far from the crash site the fighting is going on? Any fighting is it in the direction of the border? And I also would like to ask, Russian Federation also wanted to participate in this investigation, but I believe there are no Russians on the crash site. How can you comment the desire of Russia to participate? Will they participate? Will they have some separate investigation? Will they be allowed to enter the territory? To answer your question, I need to say that Russian Federation has participated already, and now everyone has now everyone's participating in what has happened, working on the return of bodies to their homelands. You know, yesterday the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Australia told me one story, and I will tell about that. And the family from Australia went to Europe. Father and mother and 3 kids. And they were on vacation there, and I believe their grandfather was there. And these parents told the grandfather, take the children and go back home. And he was flying with these kids by this aircraft. Whether there are experts or there are no Russian experts there, I believe that's not important. We believe that there is some interest from Russia, and Russians are biased, but it is important to find all the bodies, to return all of them home, so that they can be buried. That is the humanitarian issue which is to be resolved. But talking about fighting, no fighting on the territory of 20-kilometer zone, on the way where the convoy is passing, there are no fighting from Ukrainian side. What is told are provocations which are done to delay the mission, not to allow the mission to work there, but eventually they managed to resolve that problem, and thank God, now the experts can work there. The families can get some hope that they will receive the bodies of their close-bys. Thank you for your questions. Thank you.